Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. Here are the headlines of this hour. Bank irregularities listed for discussion in both houses of Parliament today. Congress wants debate only on Nirav Modi scam, while notice is admitted in Lok Sabha referring to irregularities over the years. Nephew Rio to be sworn in as Chief Minister of Nagaland tomorrow. Governor asks him to prove majority in Assembly by March 16. In Tripura, Biplab Deb is to be sworn in as the State Chief Minister on Friday. Deadline to link Aadhaar to avail various services and welfare schemes could be extended beyond March 31st. Centre informs this to the Supreme Court that's hearing several pleas against Aadhaar. Delhi's IGI is world #1 airport among airports handling more than 4 crore passengers annually. Mumbai International Airport tops for customer experience according to the Airports Council International Survey. And Sri Lanka beat India by 5 wickets in the opening match of the Tri-Nation T20 match in Colombo. Kushal Pereira is the man of the match for quick fire 66 of 37 balls. In hockey, India is out of the final race after 2-4 loss to Australia in the Aslan Shah Cup. Our top focus today, discussions are slated in both houses of Parliament on alleged banking irregularities. Day 2 of the second part of the session saw multiple adjournments in both houses after opposition parties disrupted proceedings over PNB fraud case, Kaveri water and Andhra special status issues. In the Rajya Sabha today, a short duration discussion is slated on reported scams in some public sector banks and the failure of banking regulators to check on them. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Naresh Gujral, Anil Desai, Harivansh, Rupa Ganguly and RK Sinha will be taking part in the discussion. In Lok Sabha, discussion on irregularities in the banking sector is also slated for today. The discussion is slated to be raised by N.K. Premachandran of the Revolutionary Socialist Party and K.C. Venugopal of the Congress. The leaders will raise the issue of alleged systemic irregularities in the sector over the years and its impact on the Indian economy. The discussion will be held under Rule 193 that does not entail voting. And Rajya Sabha did witness several adjournments for the second day in a row on Tuesday over the PNB fraud and other issues. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu expressed anguish over repeated protests and display of placards in the House. The government also expressed readiness to discuss all contentious issues.
The upper house failed to transact any business on Tuesday as members continued their protest over several issues. The Congress and the TMC sought to raise the issue of PNB fraud, while the AIADMK and the DMK demanded the constitution of the Kaveri Water Management Board. A TDP and Congress member demanded special status to Andhra Pradesh. The chairman urged members to allow the House to function and uphold the dignity of Parliament by not displaying placards.
Honourable members, this is not the way. This is Parliament. Please try to understand. This is Parliament. This is not a bazaar. To show placards is against the rules. You please withdraw, take back the placards. We are insulting ourselves. We are denigrating the democracy. We are making the Parliament as a laughing stock in front of the people of India. We are an upper house supposed to be set standards for others. I cannot allow this sort of thing to go on. I am adjourning the House to 11:30 and I suggest the leaders of the parties to please come and meet me in the chamber immediately.
As the protest continued, Chairman adjourned the House first till 11:30 a.m. and then till 2 p.m. He also asked the party leaders to meet him in his chambers.
Honourable members, the way things are happening in the House, I am not happy. I don't approve this sort of tactics. This is proving the public impression as if the Parliament is not conducting itself in a dignified manner. This should not be done. So I am adjourning the House to 2 p.m.
Similar scenes were witnessed even in the post-lunch session. MOS Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal criticized the opposition parties for causing obstruction despite the government's readiness to discuss all issues.
कांग्रेस बैंकिंग के ऊपर पीएनबी के ऊपर चर्चा चाहती है तो अब चर्चा से भाग क्यों रही है ये मैं जानना चाहता हूं। तो इसलिए सदन में सभापति जी ने कल भी कहा था सरकार चर्चा के लिए तैयार है। कहना चाहता हूं सरकार चर्चा के लिए तैयार है।
As the protest continued, the deputy chairman adjourned the house till Wednesday.
7th March 2018.
Despite repeated assurance from the chairman to allow the discussion on all the issues under appropriate rules, the proceedings of the House were stalled yet again. These protests not only defy the established conventions and norms of Parliament, but also derail the legislative agenda. Besides important bills, the second half of the budget session is also crucial for the passage of Union Budget 2018-19 and the appropriation bills. Reporting from Parliament House Complex with cameraperson Raj Thakur, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu took a stern view of the display of placards inside the House on Tuesday. After the House was adjourned for the first time, Naidu met floor leaders in his chamber and made it clear to them that he will not run the House if members keep holding up placards. According to sources, the chairman said that placards and banners are displayed in a marketplace and they have no place inside Parliament. He also said that he cannot preside over the House if basic decorum is not observed. The chairman reportedly pointed out that almost all parties in the country have been in power in states and in the centre at some point or the other. According to sources, he also said that parties should take seriously the concern of people about functioning of legislatures. Asking all parties to realise their collective responsibility to ensure the dignity and decorum of Parliament, the chairman said that a beginning should be made by doing away with the display of placards and banners inside the House. Several leaders reportedly shared the chairman's concern at the meeting. Leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, as well, has said that he openly disapproved it when a party MP displayed a placard in the House. Meanwhile, HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that the Congress is disrupting Parliament proceedings to evade a discussion on the PNB scam. Speaking to Rajya Sabha TV, Javadekar said that the government is ready for discussion on all contentious issues.
Joining me is the Union HRD Minister, Mr. Prakash Javadekar. Sir, disruptions have rocked proceedings once again and paralysing.
I can tell you that this is Congress tactics not to allow discussion. They asked for discussion, we granted discussion. What else they want? But now they know they cannot reply when the discussion actually will take place. It will recoil on Congress. Because all the scams, it is of Congress. Even this banking thing will also go to their doorstep because they destroyed the banking system. And it is the origination is there only during the Congress regime. And therefore, now there are new skeletons also, 80-20 gold scheme and many other things. So they want to avoid the discussion. Therefore, they are deliberately disturbing the House.
But sir, important bills are lined up. Government has a heavy agenda. Yeah. How do you plan to build consensus among all the parties so that...
We are always open and we are always said that we are ready to discuss any topic which opposition wants to raise. Prime Minister has always said that opposition has a duty to raise issues and we have obligation to discuss them and we are ready to discuss, but they don't want to discuss. Right.
Reporting from Parliament with cameraperson Raj Thakur, Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And MOS Finance Shiv Pratap Shukla exuded confidence that the Economic Offenders Bill will be passed in the second half of the budget session. Speaking to RSTV, Shukla slammed the opposition for causing disruption in the House.
Opposition parties are upping the ante on bank fraud and not letting the House function. Yesterday also we saw there were several disruptions and even today. What is the way ahead?
एक्चुअली ये जो हो रहा है उसमें कोई बैंक फ्रॉड का विषय पर लोगों ने विषय नहीं उठाया है. विभिन्न डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सर्कमस्टेंसेस रहे हैं जिसके नाते उसको वो किया है. और जैसे कावेरी है या और कुछ है जिसको कुल मिलाकर के विपक्ष जो बजट सत्र में चलने देना चाहिए और उस पर गंभीरता के साथ बहस करना चाहिए, वह विपक्ष उसमें फेल हो रहा है.
So there's also a very important economic offenders bill. What would be the fate of the bill if disruptions continue like this?
अब उसको तो हम बाद में करा लेंगे, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
And disruptions continued in Lok Sabha as well for the second day of the second half of the budget session on Tuesday. Lok Sabha was adjourned for the day as well after opposition continued to protest on various issues.
Lok Sabha was adjourned for the day on Tuesday after opposition protested over various issues. The House was adjourned for 30 minutes as soon as it convened in the morning.
House and adjourned to meet again at 12 o'clock.
When it reassembled at noon, members from the Congress, TMC, TDP, TRS and AIADMK started raising slogans. Congress and TMC MPs raised the PNB fraud case, while the TDP and YSR Congress demanded special status for Andhra Pradesh. The TRS sought reservation quota above 50% in Telangana. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar urged the opposition to allow the House to function, saying the government was ready for a discussion on the PNB fraud issue.
Madam, if the House can run peacefully, then everyone can raise their issues. The SIRISENA, TRS, TDP and Congress party, everybody can raise their issues. I especially don't understand why our Congress friends are agitated, madam. They wanted discussion on the alleged systematic irregularity in banking sector. We are ready for that. The government is ready for that.
हम ये चाहते हैं रूल 52 के तहत हमारे को डिस्कशन करने के लिए आप परमिशन देना चाहिए. We want to discuss and we are ready to discuss. Kindly allow me.
Despite repeated appeals by the Speaker to let the House function, the protests continued, forcing the Speaker to adjourn the House for the day.
The House stands adjourned to meet again on Wednesday, that's 7th March.
With inputs from Navikram Singh, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In more national news, the deadline for mandatory linking of Aadhaar to avail government schemes may be further extended beyond the 31st of March. The centre told the Supreme Court that since more time is needed to conclude the prolonged hearing in the Aadhaar case, the deadline may extend from 31st of March. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra agreed with the centre's contention on the issue. On the December 15th last year, the Apex Court had extended the deadline for mandatory linking of Aadhaar with various services and welfare schemes. The Apex Court is hearing several petitions challenging Aadhaar. A quick break here. We'll be back with more national news in a bit. Stay with us.
Let's meet the participants for today's North Zone semi-finals. We have the team from Chandigarh, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab. Finally, we have the team from Uttarakhand. This is a 2017 Indian movie, which is the entry for the Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscar Awards.
Newton.
Newton is the right answer. 10 points to the team from Jammu and Kashmir. पहली बार इस फ्लैग का इस्तेमाल सिंगापुर में हुआ था.
भारतीय तिरंगा.
Is not the right answer. Team from Chandigarh.
Indian National Congress.
गलत जवाब. -5 to the team from Chandigarh. Which country's parliament building is this?
Nepal.
Nepal is not the right answer. Teams on the buzzers now.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan is the right answer. 10 points to the team from Haryana.
Watch National Elections Quiz 2018, presented by Election Commission of India, Saturday at 5 p.m. only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. In more national news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the new premises of the Central Information Commission in New Delhi on Tuesday. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said that transparency and accountability are crucial for a democratic and participative government. He said that organizations like CIC act as catalysts for good governance by building trust and ensuring transparency. The Prime Minister also said that empowered citizens are one of the strongest pillars of a democracy, and India is fast becoming a digitally empowered society. He added that ask, listen, interact, act and inform are the 5 pillars of information highway that the government has adopted. The Prime Minister also lauded the CIC mobile app that will facilitate filing applications and complaints, besides getting the latest information about the Commission.
Empowered citizen
हमारे लोकतंत्र का सबसे मजबूत स्तंभ है। पिछले 4 वर्षों में आपने देखा होगा कि किस तरह केंद्र सरकार ने अलग अलग माध्यमों के जरिए देश के लोगों को इन्फॉर्म एंड एम्पावर करने का प्रयास किया है। साथियों, आज के आधुनिक इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे के 5 पिलर्स हैं जिन पर हम एक साथ काम कर रहे हैं। ये 5 पिलर हैं: आस्क, लिसन, इंटरैक्ट, act and inform.
BJP MPs will have a dinner meeting with Prime Minister Modi and in fact Party President Amit Shah on Friday at the new BJP headquarters in Delhi. The Prime Minister informed the MPs about the dinner meeting at the BJP Parliamentary Party meeting on Tuesday and said that he was doing so on behalf of Amit Shah, who had gone to Meghalaya to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Chief Minister Conrad Sangma. PTI is quoting BJP sources as saying that it will be an occasion for the MPs, 332 in total, to visit the new headquarters and interact with their leaders. And interestingly, Congress leader Sonia Gandhi has invited leaders of all opposition parties for dinner on the 13th of March in a fresh bid to forge a united front against the BJP. Party sources are saying that the initiative is a step towards strengthening the opposition and laying foundation for a united front in the 2019 Lok Sabha polls. Sonia Gandhi's invitation comes at a time when talk of a non-BJP, non-Congress front is doing the rounds following a proposal by Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao for a national consultation process on the matter. Sources are saying that several leaders have confirmed their attendance. Sonia Gandhi is keen to have all top opposition party leaders, including Trinamool Congress Chief Mamata Banerjee, who is yet to give her confirmation. Banerjee has spoken to KCR and DMK Working President M.K. Stalin for coordination inside and outside Parliament. The second half of the budget session has seen opposition parties unitedly protesting over multiple issues. We'll keep track of developments on both fronts. Meanwhile, let's head to the northeast, and senior NDPP leader Nephew Rio will take oath as Nagaland Chief Minister on Thursday. Rio was appointed as Chief Minister designate by Governor P.B. Acharya after receiving letters of support from 12 legislators of the BJP, one from the JDU and another from an independent MLA, besides the 18 MLAs of the NDPP. The governor also asked Rio to prove his majority on the floor of the House on or before 16th of March. Earlier on Tuesday, outgoing Chief Minister T.R. Zeliang submitted his resignation, which was accepted by the governor. His party, Naga People's Front, was the largest single party, but with a tally of 27 seats, it fell well short of the magic number of 31. In Meghalaya, 34 newly elected MLAs will take oath at a special assembly session today. 19 MLAs of the NPP, 6 of the United Democratic Party, 4 of the People's Democratic Front, 2 each of the Hill State People's Democratic Party and the BJP, and 1 independent will be sworn in at a one-day special session of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly. Conrad Sangma, the president of the National People's Party and Lok Sabha MP from Tura, took oath as the 12th Chief Minister of the state along with 11 cabinet ministers on Tuesday. And in an update from Tripura too, Biplab Dev will be sworn in as the first BJP Chief Minister of the state on the 9th of March. His name was unanimously decided in a meeting of the newly elected MLAs of BJP and its ally IPFT in Agartala on Tuesday. Jishnu Kumar Debarma, a prominent tribal leader and member of Tripura's royal family, will also take over as the Deputy Chief Minister of the state. The BJP and IPFT combined had swept Tupa in the state, winning 43 out of the 59 seats. The BJP had won 35 and IPFT 8 seats.
किसी ने भी कुछ भी राज्य में ऐसा कोई घटना घटाने की कोशिश करेगा और जिन्होंने भी कुछ भी किया है पूरे कड़ाई से उसका व्यवस्था की जाएगी, किसी को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा.
Now on to developments in the PNB fraud case. The Serious Fraud Investigation Office has summoned Managing Director and CEO of the Punjab National Bank in connection with the 12,700 crore rupee fraud at the bank. The SFIO is likely to record the statement of the officer, who is expected to appear today in connection with the case. The agency summoned senior officials of private sector lenders, Axis Bank and ICICI Bank as well in connection with the probe. Axis Bank revealed that it has 200 crore rupees exposure to the scam-tainted companies promoted by Nirav Modi and his uncle Mehul Choksi. Meanwhile, the CBI has arrested Vipul Chitalia, the vice president of Gitanjali Group of Companies, as a part of the probe into the case. The court has remanded him in CBI custody till the 17th of March. Chitalia was detained at Mumbai airport when he returned to India from Dubai. The agency has also taken custody of a retired deputy manager of PNB. In international news, Sri Lanka on Tuesday imposed a state of nationwide emergency to quell riots and clashes between Buddhist and Muslim groups. Various areas of the country, especially Kandy city, have been witnessing unrest for days between the religious communities. Reports claim the riots began when a Sinhalese truck driver was killed during clashes with some Muslim youths. While the incident was not seen as a racially motivated one, violence erupted on Monday with many shops belonging to Muslims being burned by Sinhalese mobs. Damage has also been inflicted to Muslim homes and mosques, with many vehicles being torched. Sri Lankan President MAITHRIPALA SIRISENA declared the nationwide state of emergency for 7 days and assured stringent action against troublemakers.
එම ප්‍රචණ්ඩකාරී ක්‍රියා සිදු කළ සිදුවීම් පිළිබඳව මා සම්පූර්ණයෙන් ඒ සිදුවීම් හෙලා දකිනවා. ඒ හෙලා දකිනවා වගේම මෙවැනි සිදුවීම් වලට මුල් වූ කුමන හෝ පාර්ශවයක පුද්ගලයන් සංවිධාන කණ්ඩායම් ඒ සියල්ලටම විරුද්ධව දැඩි ලෙස නීතිමය වශයෙන් ක්‍රියා කළ යුතු බව මා පොලිසියට උපදෙස් දී තිබෙනවා.
North Korea is ready for denuclearization on the Korean peninsula, claimed the South Korean officials who returned from Pyongyang on Tuesday. The head of the South Korean delegation confirmed that the North feels that there is no need to keep its nuclear program as long as there was no military threat against it and the safety of its regime was secured. He also claimed that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was open to talks with the United States regarding normalizing ties between the Koreas and the US. Both the Koreas have also agreed to summit-level talks, which will be held in late April.
남과 북은 4월 말 판문점 평화의 집에서 제3차 남북 정상회담을 개최하기로 하였으며 이를 위해 구체적 실무 협의를 진행해 나가기로 하였습니다.
Reacting to the developments, US President Trump attributed the recent progress in talks between North and South Korea to strengthen US sanctions under his administration. He also said that North Korean officials were sincere in indicating that they were open to getting rid of the country's nuclear weapons program.
I think that nobody got that. I think that they are sincere, but I think they're sincere also because the sanctions and what we're doing with respect to North Korea, including, the great help that we've been given from China, and they can do more, but I think they've done more than certainly they've ever done for our country before.
And now to sports. In India will face Malaysia in their 4th match at the 27th Sultan Azlan Shah Cup hockey tournament in Malaysia today. On Tuesday, India lost to Australia 2-4 in the tournament. This was their 2nd loss in 3 matches, pushing them out of the race to reach the final. Late goals by Ramandeep Singh and Sumit Kumar were only enough to avoid a whitewash against the table toppers Australia. Still looking for a win, India will take on hosts Malaysia in their 4th match today.
They managed to get a goal. They might have gone in search of a second.
And in more disappointing news, Sri Lanka beat India by 5 wickets in the opening match of the Nidahas T20 Triangular Trophy International Cricket at Colombo. The hosts scored 175 runs for 5 wickets at 18.3 overs. Kushal Pereira's brilliant 66 runs of 37 balls helped the hosts gain victory and win him the man of the match title. For India, Shikhar Dhawan scored 90 runs of 49 balls with 6 fours and 6 sixes. Manish Pandey scored 37 runs of 35 balls. The next match will be played between India and Bangladesh on Thursday.
We would have been more aggressive, but we have to see that we don't lose any more wickets and at the same time score runs. So I feel that at the end of 6 overs we were 40 runs. So we were maybe 5-6 runs short than what we usually achieve, or maybe 50 or maybe 10 runs. But on this track I felt that 170 was a good score, It's just that Kushal Pereira played an amazing knock, and he just took the game away from us very quickly.
We are get a really good start. That's why we are getting very easily, not easily, but we are there. So the players, they are communicating very well, the coaching staff and the management. So they are very confident about the way they are behaving in the grounds and the practice sessions. So the coaching staff and the head coach, they are doing the pretty good job. They are talking, they are doing confident-wise. They are talking every player.
And ending the show on a positive note, Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport has been rated as the #1 among airports in the world, handling more than 4 crore passengers annually. The rating has been given in a survey by the Airports Council International, that is a trade association of 1,953 member airports across 176 countries. As part of its survey on airport service quality, views of passengers on 34 key performance indicators are measured. Delhi has topped the list in the highest category. The Mumbai International Airport has topped the list on the customers' experience category. And that's it on The Breakfast News. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day.